Stevens going down the right wing of the Chicago end. Roenick will put the shoulder in the mullet. Larmer cruises back into the Penguin zone. Bob Airy flattens him.
And the Penguins are the team that does all the passing and the beautiful playmaking and scoring.
Yeah, well,
but the Penguins are a team.
Jennings will slide into the near side. Yager comes in. Marchment took him heavily to the boards. The Hawks continue to use the body, and now Loney is belted by Marchment. And Brian Marchment paired out here with him. Steve Smith not on here paired with Chelios right now, and Roenick was hit heavily by Samuelson and over to take a piece of him, and here we go. Samuelson and Chelios, and another Hawk there. Marchment's after him, and Marchment's got his gloves off, coming after Samuelson, who can't get himself free, and they are on one another now like crazy. And here's Chelios trying to get at Samuelson, too. Who's he punching at? Chelios, and then the Penguins grab him on the bench now. Chelios came over and was trying to hit Samuelson also as Marchment was getting a piece of him, and the two benches are up here. They're all trying to get a piece of one another. Nobody is on the ice. The benches have an empty, but it is just a free-for-all right now between the people that are on the ice. And here is somebody's over around the Penguin bench, and they're getting worked over pretty good. That's Roenick and Tippett trying to get out of there. Tockett's going to have to come after him. Boy, Marchment and Samuelson, the original combatants in this situation.
And it all started because Samuelson came up and took a piece of Roenick as he was going by right in front of the Chicago bench. And it wasn't enough that Marchment had a hold of Samuelson and was wailing away at the back of his head. I'm sure he hurt his knuckles hitting the back of Volpe's helmet.
Boy, Scotty Bowman is livid. He's yelling at somebody, and they're trying to get him cooled down. Scotty Bowman leaning way over the bench, almost fell out of the box. And they're trying to get one of the Hawks off Ulf Samuelson. And Ronnie Finn, the linesman, trying to help out, too. Bob Airy is in the middle of the pack. It all started in front of the Chicago bench and then moved over towards the Penguins area, and then they were all grabbing for one another from the benches converging right in the middle. They're right next to one another here at the Civic Arena.
Saturday afternoon at the Fights on ESPN. Well, this game is being televised nationally. Alfie took a piece of Roenick as he came by, put the glove in his face, and Roenick went down. That's not the worst thing that's happened in this game. A little shot with a left hand by Alfie on the face of Roenick. As soon as Roenick went down, Marchment knew that it was Alfie, went over and hit him. And he got his gloves off in a hurry, too, Mike.
They're trying to break some things up that are still going on down here on the ice. Bob Airy was swinging over the top, and that is when Chelios came back around, and that's what Chelios, and I have to, I would thought Chelios was coming after Samuelson, but he was coming after Bob Airy, it appeared. Marchment's going off the ice because Bobby was in there whacking at somebody, and then that was when Chelios came from behind and grabbed him.
Well, he tried to protect Alfie from Marchment.
Now, Keith Brown comes over to the Penguin bench, and things heat up again.
See if he can get a few more misconducts here from the Penguin bench.
And he's going to throw Keith Brown over to the box. Keith Brown's going in, and Roenick slams his stick. Keith Brown went right to the Penguin bench, and now he's going to go in the penalty box. He's going to get a misconduct penalty. And this will also be issued at 19:09 of the first period.
Number 4, Keith Brown, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Time of the penalty, 19:09.
No, that's even worse. That's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And that's going to put Chicago in a situation where they'll be, I believe, shorthanded here. It'll give the Penguins a power play, I believe.
They can get away from him sometimes. That puck was never tied up, not even close to being tied up. Never should have been a whistle.
Yeah, but the reason there was, if there is, in Hogarth's opinion, is the fact that he lost sight of it. He just didn't see it.
Yeah, well, maybe you should get around behind the net so he can see it. It's ridiculous. Belfour went down. Yager was trying to reach for that puck over top of Belfour, who was out at the edge of the crease when Yager supposedly interfered with him.
What happens with Belfour is he came out so far, and then Yager went into him, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was. I really do. I think Yarmer interfered with him and leaned his body in.
2 minutes for interfering with the goaltender.
The left wing boards, moves in, fakes a shot, goes around to the Brent center. Center trying to shoot it. He can't quite get it on the net, and now the whistle sounds. And play is stopped around the Penguin goal as Barrasso and the Pens had possession of the puck for just a moment. Hogarth, I think, lost sight of it again. And we'll be back in a moment. 3-0 Pittsburgh. I think the one thing that I really admire about Tippett is his tenacity.
Grittiness. He's a gritty player.
And trying to get a step on Murphy does. Goes behind the net. Tried to center and it hit the back of the goal. Now a jam up in front. And that dislodges the net from the moorings. And we'll get a stop in play and a face-off coming up here. Grimson and Jennings push one another. Stu Grimson to the Hawks, and Grant Jennings now jostling Lemieux over as Jennings barks at him.
2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 3:10. Grimson, 2 for roughing at 3:10.
So Grimson down the right side. Loney and Grimson collided, and the puck sails into the Penguins' end, and Stanton will touch it. We get an icing call here against the Chicago Blackhawks. The Penguins have been able to kind of just quiet Jeremy Roenick.
Rick Kehoe loves to tell this story, Mike, about Jim McKenney, who played with him in Toronto. He was a really funny guy. And, you know, the Hawks used to have that theme song, Here Come the Mighty Hawks. Remember that song that they used to have? One night, Dennis Hull was carrying the puck down the boards, and Jim McKenney started singing that song to him, and he started laughing.
Pass attempt right to the Penguins' Jimmy Pack. You'll look for Yager, who was crunched by Chelios and upended. He was in a prone, vulnerable position there, and Chelios took advantage of that, and Tocchet comes over. Now they come after Tocchet, and here we go. Chelios met by Tocchet, and then somebody came in and threw a left hand at Rick Tocchet right in front of the Penguin bench. And I'm not sure who it was. Tocchet trying to get himself free. He is coming at somebody.
He wants to fight Chelios right now.
It's Steve Smith who came in and gave him that left. And Smith coming with a right. Tocchet can't get himself free. He's trying to back away. Rick Tocchet and Steve Smith going at one another. The linesmen are between the two. They might be better off just letting them peel apart and go and get it done. There's still a lot of traffic in front of the Penguin bench as Tocchet is draped over the boards. And Smith and Tocchet continue their discussion as the linesmen step between them. Ron Finn and Bob Hodges.
I'll tell you something. It's amazing the way the Hawks gang up on you. I mean, it was Tocchet and Chelios squaring off. The next thing you know, Steve Smith's in there hammering away.
I believe it was Smith. I'm not sure.
I think you're right.
As today, the Pittsburgh Penguins defeated the Chicago Blackhawks. The final score, Pittsburgh 4 and Chicago 1.